African Continental Free Trade Agreement, I believe I mentioned this probably a couple times, but it came into effect fully in January of 2021. And so the Secretariat, meaning the office for the whole African Continental Free Trade Agreement that was established by the African Union, is located here in Ghana. The Secretariat is kind of like the CEO over that. He's a South African. Okay. And so the thing that makes that special is that because it's located here in Ghana, Ghana has a vested interest in it being successful. So they are going above and beyond to do whatever they can to bring people with different specialties into the fold to try to help this secretariat be successful. So there's lots of different areas of IT that they're constantly looking for different proposals from people because they're trying to combine 55 countries into one single market. They're trying to do basically what the EU has done. They're trying to do with the Southeast Asian countries have done. They're trying to have a solid and single market so that the continent can rise up out of poverty, because you have so many people in extreme poverty and in poverty alone where people are making less than $1 a day. Is to make that one single market and to require that folks like the Americans and the EU and the Chinese will actually take them seriously and negotiate that way, because you have small countries like the Gambia, small countries like Guinea-Bissau, trying to compete on the world stage for goods and services, which they can't. You have all the natural resources coming out of Africa going to God knows where and being turned into Intel processing chips that goes into your phone, or, being turned into chocolate, just rubber trees are literally everywhere in Africa, including here in Ghana. And you get tires, rubber bands, everything, the rubber that's on the eraser of your pencils, every single natural resource that is grown in the world, produced in the world, comes from Africa, but it seems to be turned into a added value product once it goes abroad somewhere else. So they're trying to get to the point where that can be stopped, where that can be not the focus anymore, and they can, as a collective, make actual money from this before it's shipped out. And so the president of Ghana has already started this by telling the Swiss, we're not giving you our raw cocoa anymore. We're going to process it and then sell it to you at a higher rate because it's processed. You're not going to just rape and pillage like you've been doing for centuries. Sorry, no. Contract, the old one that had you guys basically doing this for 100 years, has ended. New contract terms have come to play. So, we don't know how this is going to go until we see it play out, but he's going to be president for another 3 years. So it might be a good thing. But I share this because I'm giving you background on the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Again, there's 55 countries, not 54, because some people love to correct me, and they're wrong, because the Sudans have split. That's why there's 55 countries. The market size for the entire continent is over 3 trillion as of right now, and will be growing because middle class is growing in several of the countries throughout the continent. And then Africa as a continent has 1.27 billion people, with babies being born daily. Now, if China was split like Africa, they wouldn't be as united as they are. But because they weren't split, or let me rephrase that. Because China was unified, right? Modern China was unified. And because they were under a communist system, and because they are locked into complete control, this is how they're able to dominate the way that they do now. And they have over 1 billion people and have had that for quite some time now. But Africa's population is the youngest population in the entire world and growing. Even China recognizes that, because they have lost their population since they enacted the one-child rule, which is why they got rid of it. So these are things to consider when you think about the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. I was recently on a call. I'm on a lot of calls and a lot of webinars for this African Continental Free Trade Agreement because I want to learn more about it. I'm trying to understand how it will work, how it would benefit us, and how it's going to work with people in the tech industry, right? So I will call into a lot of different calls that I'm invited to. But I was on a call for the Dulles Chamber of Commerce. These are the folks like the Business Chamber of Commerce out of like Washington, D.C. The thing that I found interesting about it, though, is that they had a representative from the African Continental Free Trade Agreement here in Ghana. They had a sitting senator from the U.S., and they had another representative from the U.S. government sitting there talking about Africa, specifically about this African Continental Free Trade Agreement and how they're pissed off that China is beating them. You can understand why getting into the market now is so essential before they all come and get saturated. Right now, the U.S. trades with Africa as a continent basically the same way they do with the Netherlands as a country. The Netherlands. I love the Netherlands. Don't get me wrong. Holland is great. Amsterdam is cool as a fan. But I mean, this is a very small country, you know? So it's like they aren't taking Africa seriously, but now they're interested. United Airlines has opened up new routes to Ghana specifically because the Secretariat office is here and because of the success of the year of return and how many people came and how much money was spent. Now United for the first time is flying to and from Dulles to Accra. And so I say all this in the golden nuggets. I talked about all this in the golden nuggets that you see here. The real interest for the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and the African Union, if they stick with it and don't let themselves be completely corrupted, is to build partnerships with international organizations to get that international investment in different countries in Africa so they can truly build up the middle class the same way in which the Chinese have done. So guys, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you briefly about the African Free Trade Agreement because it's extremely important.